Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what the current energy around Libra is for the week ahead. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind these are general readings, my friends, and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements to get a complete picture. Or if you would like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below. All right, my friends, let's get started here for Libra. What is the current energy for the week ahead for Libra? Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh, isn't that interesting? That card came back. Okay, so my Libra friends, it appears that you are feeling some indecision about how to make your next move, where to go, where to invest yourself, where to invest your time, your energy, your money, your resources. And it's difficult right now to see a path ahead that's clear. Looking at the cards that have come out for you here, we see fork in the road in reverse, which makes me feel like you know you're at a cross point, like you're at a crossroads with something and you need to pick a direction, but the idea of picking that direction feels really challenging because you know you don't fit into a certain box that may be typical, right? I feel like you may be outside of a box in the sense of you don't fit the mold of certain things. And that may be causing you to have some insecurities about yourself. Seeing this loyal heart card in reverse tells me that whatever it is that is causing you to feel like you're at this crossroads right now, it's actually trying to show you how to love yourself as you are, instead of sort of seeing yourself as not like others, and that is something to be critical of or judge yourself for. It's interesting when that loyal heart card comes up in reverse, it can really be an indication right now that we're being kind of stubborn and attached to an old way of thinking or doing, and that it's almost like we're unconsciously betraying ourselves by not recognizing ourselves in a way that's loving. And even if we feel like we're different or don't fit into a typical box, that we're okay with that, and that we see our path may move us in a different direction than it moves others, but that ultimately everyone's path is unique, even if it appears that, the majority of people fit into this lane very comfortably, and you're way over here in this lane going, how come my path looks so different than their path? It could be the exercise of comparison that needs to go. That the exercise of comparing your path to another path is not serving you in the slightest right now. And in fact, it could be something that you need to let go of entirely to make room to look at outdated beliefs and old ideas and misplaced loyalties, and that it's okay to go your own way. That by the book card that came out first for you in reverse is very interesting, because seeing that card sort of reinforces the idea that your path is not going to look like the path of anyone else. And you're right in the middle of trying to decide your direction right now. Right? You're right in the middle of trying to decide your direction, but it's almost like you're being really critical about the idea that your path looks different than everyone else's path. And that's something I think you're going to discover is okay. And that your uniqueness doesn't mean that you're different in a way that puts you alone, that you're just unique. We're all unique. It may appear that you're the minority and everyone else is able to sort of do things in the same way, and then you're way over here, Libra. But I feel like some of this could be because you are likely wishing or feeling this longing to be accepted by mainstream things, and I'm going to say things to keep it general, because whatever you're facing will be different for each of you listening, but not feeling like you fit in is the bottom line. And instead of feeling critical about that and letting that throw you into a place of confusion and not sure where to focus or what direction to take, to sort of feel this sort of self-love that says, I don't need to fit in to love myself. I don't need to fit into this structure here that everyone else seems to be okay with. I mean, one analogy coming to mind right away is the idea of working a 9-to-5 job. That seems to fit for a lot of people, right? On the surface, it seems to fit for a lot of people. But if you were to dive into that, I bet you that there would be a lot of people that are forcing themselves to work a 9-to-5 job, that really their preference or their the vision that they may have had for themselves is different in terms of where they feel like they thrive. For some people, they do thrive in that kind of environment, right? And it's not for us to judge or compare, but to just take the path that works for us. And I feel like right now, Libra, you're at a place where you're sort of being a bit critical of yourself because you don't fit into this mainstream 9-to-5 box, and again, it doesn't have to be limited to a working situation, this whole 9-to-5 example. It's just the first one that sort of popped into my mind as being a box of mainstream behavior. Do you know what I mean? The other ideas that are coming to my mind are the idea of being neurotypical or neuroatypical, and that one or the other is they're both the same in the sense of it's just a representation of how your mind works and how you process information, and it doesn't need to be compared, and that there may be more people in this typical box than the atypical box, but nothing to suggest the need to be critical of either group. It's the idea of self-acceptance and self-love, and not feeling like you have to fit into a certain box in order to be worthy of that self-acceptance or self-love, but to offer that to yourself no matter what. And I feel like you're at a crossroads right now with that. Let's see here. There's the Wheel of Fortune. See, everything is going to move. Everything is going to move. That's the one beautiful part of, there's many beautiful things here, but one beautiful thing about our universe is that change is really the only constant. So wherever you find yourself, remind yourself that this will pass. So if you're in sort of the really intense aspect of this, see this level of indecision, you're just not sure. You're taking one step forward and like 10 steps back because of this level of indecision. You don't want to make a wrong choice. In your mind, there's definitely a right choice and a wrong choice. And I feel like that needs some healing, right? There's the Star card, Aquarius energy coming through to sort of help you feel some level of healing after a big crisis, and it feels like the crisis is the directional choice or the idea of wanting to fit in and not fitting in, or feeling like things aren't moving and you're stuck when really things are moving, and they're moving to get you to a place of, isn't that interesting, sort of a transformative energy on the emotional side, where you may start to see signs of things that really resonate for you, but are you paying attention to the signs is the question. Seeing the Queen of Pentacles here come out for you in the reverse says more self-love, more self-care, more grounding, more trusting yourself, remembering that you are self-reliant and that you are capable and have all of this potential. We all do. It's just getting out of our own way sometimes. And it feels like right now, getting out of your way means being and celebrating, not just being comfortable, but actually celebrating your uniqueness, and not thinking or feeling like you can't do things in a different way and be successful, Libra. It's interesting, as I say that, we see cards that really tell me to get out of your own way and start celebrating your uniqueness instead of sort of feeling like you can't take that risk, that you have to fit into a box, otherwise you're not safe. You know what I mean? Like there's almost an element of not feeling grounded to the point where you might actually not feel safe in your current circumstance. And that's causing a lot of indecision and making you feel like you can't possibly achieve something from your own efforts. But look, you see the Five of Pentacles coming out in reverse. I love seeing the Five of Pentacles in reverse because that tells me that you're about to turn things around for yourself. You're turning around your losses. The first card we see here is the Wheel of Fortune. So this really does sort of make me feel like this is not feeling secure. This is feeling insecurity on a level of your own identity, needing to be grounded and feeling like you can bring that nervous system from here where it's sitting in fear and feeling like it doesn't belong, and I'm sort of out here all by myself, to I got this, all will be well, this will pass, and I will. It's almost like you need to make affirmations even if they're not evident to you in reality just yet. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we over focus on what's happening in our reality, we think that that is the truth, when really you can look at reality and say that's the truth so far. That's only up to right now. And if I continue to sort of be in the present moment and make choices that are in line with what resonates for me, I can change things about my reality, because it's not constant, right? Everything, the only constant is change. And so believing that just because something is the way it is today, feeling like it's going to be like that forever, it's an illusion. It's an illusion that we make real, because it's very convincing to look out into the world and be like, well, if it's like this today, it's going to be like that tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And I'm going to stay where I am. Sometimes we feel like it will stay like that forever, which can really set that nervous system into going, what? It's going to stay like this forever? And then we start to be in fear and we panic and we freeze, because that's what we do, or we get sick. You know what I mean? And it's something that happens, I think, to stop us in our tracks, to be like, whoa, wait a minute. Have another look at this, right? Have another look at this from different perspective, and start by grounding yourself with affirmations of I am capable, I am valuable, I am worthy, I am able to shift my reality by shifting within, that the shift within, the inner shift, shifts the outer experience. And I know some people struggle when they hear that, because it might be really tricky right now in your current reality. And so hearing that, oh, hey, shift within, and then you'll start to see a shift outside of yourself. Sometimes that can trigger people into being very defensive about their experience. But I feel like for you right now, grounding into a new vibration is going to serve you. It's going to help you see that you can turn your losses around, and that there is a potential for healing here, and that you can rely on people for support. So if you need support, there's nothing wrong with accessing that support. And that's all coming through in your reading here, Libra. Very interesting, very specific messaging here for you. And seeing these cards for you are sort of bringing me to a place where I'm curious what's on the bottom of the deck. And it's the Temperance card. So seeing the Temperance card on the bottom of the deck is sort of confirming to me that things need to get into balance, and that the sense of urgency is only creating more indecision, and as opposed to clarity. And it feels like this is going to be a week to just sort of ground yourself, to know that you can cut through any kind of obstacles that show up in your path, in that Two of Pentacles, that you can slice through that red tape, if you will, so that you feel like you can choose, you know. I feel like that will help you feel like you can make a choice, even if it's not the same kind of choice that would be made in a mainstream sort of situation. Again, like relating it back to the 9 to 5 versus being a freelancer or being an entrepreneur, or, you know, working in the night as opposed to working during the day, taking the night shift. Very interesting reading for you this week, Libra. Leave me some comments below letting me know how this hit for you, how it felt for you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to leave it at that, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Take care. Sending you so much love.